Hello, everyone. Good morning. My name is Kristi, and this is my wonderful friend Marian. And today it's Wednesday, and we are going to be talking about the good parts of our week, both in our personal life and in business. So, we want to welcome you to our wonderful little piece of fun and happiness that we bring to you every week. And
our Freedom Channel.
We have our freedom. Yep, we're wearing our freedom shirts. Actually, our company just got some not new shirts, but a new
line.
Vendor. Yes, a new line, a new vendor. So I ordered some new shirts for both me and my husband, and they should be here so soon. I will definitely wear them on the next good part. So Marian, do you want to kind of introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about maybe you could start with your first good part of the week.
Well, here's one of my good parts.
Okay.
Boom!
Gail, my wonderful friend Gail.
Gail is a good part of our lives, I'm telling you.
I'm going to verge and say she's one of the best parts of my day, of my week. I love you.
Gail, you are such a fresh, I don't even know what, not a flower, okay? There's a word. A fresh friend. She's a fresh friend.
She's a fresh friend. Yes.
So she is perfect for my first good parts. This is the good parts challenge. If you want to do a hashtag, the good parts challenge, you'll see a bunch of people doing this. This is awesome. You should try it. Okay, so Gail does one every day, and I love it because she just tells you what's happening in your life every single day. So don't you think if you did that every day that you would start looking for the good parts? Yeah, I do.
Look, I put this up here.
Oh, my liver, she says.
That is Gail's catchphrase. I think it's her catchphrase, or she just says it a lot, but she's like, oh, my liver. And I'm telling you, it's so cute. I find myself saying it. And then I think, no, that's Gail's. I'm like, but I can't help it. It's so sweet. It's so sweet. Okay,
so she is part of one of my good parts this week. The other night, or the other morning, bright and early, like, I don't know, 7:00 my time, I'm Central, I get a text message. Hey, Marian, can you help me out? I've been asked to volunteer to be a substitute for the Grow Rich call, which is every morning at 8:00 Central, 9:00 Eastern time. It's a phone call. Literally, you can get on the phone and listen for an hour of readings of the Grow Rich books. They're wide and varied from 1909 to now. And she was asked to volunteer, and she said yes. And then she asked me to read from, I'll show you what it is. It's called The Major Definite Purpose. Can you read that? It's pretty big, right?
I can see it.
The Major Definite Purpose is a form that you fill out. You put your name and your date, say things that you are wanting, a goal, right? So as I'm reading this, I'm thinking to myself, I shouldn't just read this or listen to somebody else read it every day. I should actually do it. Hello. So that's my goal for this week. By the end of next week, by Wednesday next week, you are going to see me fill this out and say it every day, just like it tells me to.
I love
thank
that.
you, Gail.
Yes, thank you, Gail, so much. I love that. And that's something that I have done, almost 4 years ago when I joined our wonderful company. My husband and I filled it out. And even though it is read to us every day on the morning call, I still like to read it aloud. It gets in you. So that's for sure. Okay. Do you have anything else you want to add?
Well, excuse me. I feel like I have a froggy that's trying to come out.
Well, that may be a mouse.
Okay, I talk about this a lot, but it's part of my life and it is a good part. So I will tell you that I went into Houston to help a friend who has Alzheimer's, and I stayed an extra day or two. And so I kind of went off my intermittent fasting program. I'm not going to call it a diet because it's definitely not. And I thought to myself, uh-oh, knowing Marian, I'm going to just slip right back into my normal eating pattern and I won't get back on. And so I was afraid. So I asked my friends to, remind me, to encourage me, not to force me, but to encourage me to get back on it.
Right.
And I did. So to me, friends, my community, my commitment to myself, it all works together for the good parts for me.
Yep. I totally agree. And we have talked, right? Yay! We have talked so much about setting goals and having that real drive to reach your goals. And that is a perfect example. When you have it in here, it's, I don't want to say it's easy, but you really allow those people in your life to encourage you. And when you're fighting yourself because you don't really have those goals and your friend's like, this is what you want, you're like, eh. But when it's in here, you can be like, you're right. You're right. I want this. This is my life. I remember Gail actually said something. It was technology, but it just stuck in my head. She's like, this is my life now, and this is what I want. And so I play that in my head sometimes.
It's true.
Well, it is. It is. Okay. So is it my turn?
Yep, your turn.
Okay. This good part that I want to share, I probably shared it last week. I'll probably share it next week, but I'm going on a cruise. I know. And so with that, I almost feel like I'm on the cruise already. Like I think about it. I'm shopping in my sister's closet.
What?
Yes, yesterday she gave me a hat. She's giving me clothes.
Is your sister
And
going with you?
no,
Oh, that's
but
why she's letting you shop in her.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. So I'll actually tell you the story. I wasn't necessarily planning on telling the story, but it's good. It's good. So my husband has three sisters, and one of his sisters has a niece, and that niece is coming on the cruise with us. So before COVID, the four of us, which was Jim's three sisters and myself, we had planned to go on a cruise. But of course, we had to delay it. Well, last year in April, so exactly, not exactly to the day, 1 year, but exactly. Um, Jim's sister passed away, and
Oh,
she was 44, and she has two kids and seven grandkids, and she did not get to meet two of them. So
how old is she?
she was 44 when she passed last year.
Okay.
And so we are taking Jim's other two sisters, myself, and Susie's daughter, Mindy. We are going on the cruise, and Carnival, which I don't know if any other cruise lines do this, but Carnival, which is the cruise line we're going on, they have an ashes ceremony. So in the beginning, we had kind of thought, oh, we're going to sneak on these ashes and we're going to just spread our ashes because this was supposed to be our cruise. But Carnival, they actually have a ceremony. So we have set up with them to have a private ceremony, and they are allowing us to spread her ashes, have the ceremony, have some private time. They're setting the space up for us. We have to be so far offshore based on some rules, but they know all that.
The maritime rules.
Yes, yes. And I'm so like, I had the chills all over me when we decided that, well, when we found out that we could actually do this and make it special, not like sneak ashes,
Yeah.
on the cruise, but we're actually going to have a ceremony for her, and we're bringing her daughter. And it's just, it's the good, it's a great part. I'm so thankful. I feel absolutely blessed that we can do this for Jim's sister, Susie, because we miss her and love her so much. So that's...
Wait a minute. What kind of cruise is this? Is it a family cruise? You mentioned they had a part that was for ashes.
They you can set it up. It's not a normal part of the cruise. So this is the Carnival Cruise celebration, or no, Mardi Gras. We're going on the Mardi Gras. It's just a regular cruise.
Okay.
Aww. Gail.
Thank you, Gail.
Aww.
I feel the same way. You know, it's hard not to feel, when Kristi's telling the story, it's hard not to feel sad and happy at the same time. It's like, ooh, oh.
I know.
You know, so I'm sure you're feeling that way as well.
Yeah.
You know,
you feel all the feels. You feel them
Yep.
all. Yep, for sure. So that's basically it. It's the Mardi Gras, and I don't know if they do this for every Carnival cruise. I think they might. It's not something that's like part of the cruise, but it's just something that they offer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait
sure.
a minute. How long are you going to be gone? Because we're going to miss you.
I'm going to be gone for an entire week, and I
Oh.
will miss you.
Oh.
We can do the good parts from the cruise.
Oh my goodness. Did you hear that? Are you going to do it out on the deck so we could see?
I mean, I could try.
We're looking
Right?
forward to it. Yes.
Okay. All right. It's a commitment. I will try.
Okay.
I can't make
she'll
any
try.
promises because who knows where we'll
Right.
be.
That's true. That's true. But if you
I will
see a whale or something, you're going to take pictures and videos.
I'm going to take so
you
many
can show
pictures.
us. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, good.
We are going to Amber Cove, which is someplace I have never been. So I'm pretty excited.
Oh, let's see. Oop, oop, whoop, whoop.
Woo-hoo.
Oh, that's great. Thanks, Gail. Well, let's take a real quick sidebar here and
Okay.
tell everybody, before you do your second good parts, tell everybody about the good parts and how they could join us in this challenge.
Sure. Well, first of all, anyone can join in this challenge. All you have to do is be willing to share the good parts of your life. And it could be in anything. We choose to do business and personal. You could do just business. You could do just personal. You could talk about the good parts of your animals, whatever brings happiness to you. So our amazing friend and business partner, Paul, he started this Good Parts Challenge over a month ago, at least. And
the hashtag is down here on the bottom, scrolling by. That's what you use.
And if you search for that, you can see everyone that's doing it. It will blow your mind. It's taking over the internet because so often we talk, and especially on social media, we see the negative, or even maybe the fake. You could kind of say that. People only want to talk about what maybe isn't real. So the Good Parts Challenge, it's real, it's raw, it's vulnerable. And of course, we want to be here for you when you go through the bad. We're a community. We love you and we want to support you. But this specific challenge is for you to share with us the good parts of you, of your life, and to let us celebrate that with you. So there's no pressure. You don't have to be perfect.
There is a little pressure. There is a little pressure.
Okay, let's hear it.
You've got to go live consistently. So if you choose every day, you do every day. If you choose like Kristi and I were like every day, but we could commit to once a week. So if you can commit to something, then that's your consistent basis. So
I love that you brought that up. I do. I love that you brought that up because you want to be consistent to not only the people that want to know about your good parts, but you want to be consistent to yourself.
Right.
And you don't want to let yourself down.
Oh, right. Exactly. Just like I said in my my fasting, I didn't want to let myself down. And so I set myself up for success by asking my friends.
Love it. Okay.
To encourage me.
Exactly.
All right. So enough of the commercial. Let's go on to your second good parts for this week.
Oh, Okay. Well, this second part does kind of have to do with the first part. And I don't know if you can notice anything different about me.
Your hair is gorgeous.
Thank you. And this is, out of bed hair, to be honest. Okay. I am almost 50, so to have hair this good at 50, that's a good part in itself. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Okay. All right. This is serious. Oh, Gail says, look for the
Oh, yeah.
miracles every day, not the misery. Then post your miracles daily. Trust me, they are everywhere.
Oh, thank you, Gail.
They are. They are everywhere, for sure.
And Gail, while Kristi's telling her second part of her good parts, would you go and find how people can find you, because you're like a star here, so that people are like, where do I find Gail? Where do I find Gail?
I
So
know.
go and find it and put it up and we'll post it. All right. Okay, all ears for you, Kristi.
Okay.
All eyes and ears.
All eyes and ears. Okay. I am a huge advocate. I'm always saying this, that if you have a passion, if you have a hobby, if you have something in your heart that you love, you can do anything. And I mean it. Every single person in the world has something to offer. I don't care if you work for a corporate office for 30 years, you have value. And one of the things that I have value, and it's, not most business people have this, but I'm a baker. And although I am mostly retired because of the lifestyle that, we have created, I do not have to bake to pay the bills. But I have this special talent inside of me. And I have a friend who I have known for, I don't know, a decade. But she is a hairdresser. And she also has 2 kids and a husband. And what we decided, because I'm retired now, I used to make her cakes and she would pay me and I would get my hair done and I would pay her. We decided that we were going to set up a bartering system. So last month, I made her daughter's cake. It was a big 2-tier Harry Potter cake. And yesterday, I went to her shop and she did my hair. So we both got amazing products. I mean, this is a miracle. And I know, if you saw, if you just want to know the difference, go watch last week's, because I'm like, oh, my hair, and it was like out to here, So you have a skill, you have a passion. Let's say, okay, my sister, Jerry, I've talked about her before. She is retired, she does trivia for a hobby. She does trivia for RV parks and bars. It's her passion. She loves it. She's so creative. But she worked in a lawyer's office for over 20 years. So,
oh, wow.
That's right? It is. It is.
A lawyer's office is so stiff and everybody's tense. And
I know.
In a bar, everybody's like, woohoo!
That is so true. But do you know how many people need something notarized, need legal advice? Not like legal advice, like, you need to, like, obviously she's not going to lead somebody astray, but, hey, I got this issue. What do you think? She can still do simple forms, wills and such. So she has that skill, which, how do you know what to do after you retire? And everybody has a skill, everybody has a passion, everybody has something, and you can offer it to the world for sure. And even if you don't get paid for it, you can barter it for something. What do you think about that?
I absolutely love bartering. I think as long as both parties feel taken care of, paid, if you will, you can get just about anything. Trade up or, barter equally.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I am bartering a website for some lawn care. Actually,
What? I want to hear about that. Wait,
uh,
tell me. That seem, I guess that's about as crazy as cakes and hair. Let's hear the story.
well, this nice company, it's a brand new company. Actually, he just went out on his own type of thing. And, they were doing a good job in our yard. And my business partner said, is it a check okay? Or do I need to go get cash? We don't know what's going on. He's new. And he said, oh, a check's fine. She said, well, I only have a business check. I don't have personal checks anymore. I'm used to using Cash App and Venmo and stuff now. Anyway, he goes, oh, that's fine. So he said, what kind of business do you have? And she said, web design. And he said, I need a website. Well, we're looking at thousands of dollars of yard work. We need a new fence. There's moles in my yard. There's all kinds of weird stuff happening. So, yeah, just the thought that we don't have to exchange money now, we can exchange work. It just, I don't know, it feels good. We're both happy. Yes. So thank you for sharing that good part because I think it's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I love it. I actually, as amazing as that is, you don't always think about people needing websites. Well, at least some people, I think about it all the time. But when I was talking to my hairdresser yesterday, and I was telling her I actually, well, maybe I'll let you talk about the new client that we got. But anyways, I was telling her about it. And she's like, I really want people to be able to book right on my website. And I'm like, I can build you a booking app. And she was like, what? I don't want to go in. This is not part of the good parts. This is your turn. So go, Marian. I'm always just blah, 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 blah. Go, go,
No,
go.
no, we both did our two, and now we can talk about anything for like 5 minutes. So I think this is great because next week we have an announcement. Kristi and
Mm-hmm.
I have a big announcement, and it involves what we're talking about. So, yeah, it's hard to even keep my mouth shut. As you can tell, it kind of leaked out a little bit.
I know. I'm sorry. I feel like that. And no. This is your fault for sure. You
Oh,
you said the lawn service. So,
yeah, I know. I know. Okay,
all
so
right.
stay tuned for next week because we have a big announcement to make.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I'm going to say.
Okay. I won't say anything either.
Well, I would like to dive into a good part for both Kristi and myself. We are involved in a company that has changed our lives. So Kristi's ahead of me. She's about 3 years ahead of me. Well, 2.5 because she's been in 3.5 years. But about a year ago, as a matter of fact, I just had my anniversary on the
Yes, you
22nd.
did.
Yeah,
Yes.
we don't work for, we represent a company that has our heart, our soul, our mind, our body, just about
Mhm.
our voice, everything that we could possibly imagine. They have it because they are heart centered
Mhm.
leaders and they teach us to do the same. And we teach that to the people that we represent and the people that come into our universe. So
Yep.
we are spreading the good parts all over the world. Would you agree?
I would, and I had to post this because
Oh, girl.
Gail says, "So are you both going into the lawn business?" No. No.
Gail, I love you.
Who would be the weed eater and who would be the lawnmower rider? I want the lawnmower rider, but I'm not a very good driver.
Can I stand on back of the lawnmower while you
I
drive it?
Oh my gosh, like a double motorcycle?
Yeah, and I could be the lookout. Watch out, there's a rock ahead. Watch out, there's a dog.
My husband won't even let me drive to LaBelle. Like
Oh,
that's an
dear.
hour away. I'm not a good driver. I'm hiding this now.
Okay. Thank you, Gail, for that laugh because that was a good one. No, we're not
Yes,
starting a lawn business, but it's comparable. Okay.
it's
So we would like
comparable.
to invite you to join our community. That's what I wanted to get out today is
Yes.
the community is not self-serving. We want you, if you are kind, generous, loving, uh, talented in any aspect. If you like people, if you love people, then I think you should reach out to us because we can find something for you.
Absolutely.
You
We'll
know,
pull
you
it
don't have
out.
to have a specific talent. It could be just about anything as long as it's good.
Right. Right. And it's kind of like Gail. I think we're picking on her a
Gail.
little bit because she's here. She might not be the most techie person, but she should definitely go into comedy.
I agree. Okay, if you don't know what she's talking about, you need to go back and watch a previous episode. The alligators are chasing you. Yes. Oh, before we go on, I did invite you all to go and check out Gail. So she put her information up here.
Yay!
Yay.
I love
Now,
her.
her hashtag is the Good Parts Challenge. And where is the at Gail Kendig? So is that on TikTok or YouTube, Facebook? Where would they go to find you? That's the last thing.
That's the last
All
thing.
right. And she says she told I totally love humans. Oh,
We
she's
love you
perfect
too.
for this business, right?
She really is. She
Yeah.
is very perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, let me think of one more last. This is the hard part is if I don't write down the exact things I want to talk about because everything in my life is so darn good. It's hard. Okay, I told you I took a trip yesterday to get my hair done. It was about an hour and a half away. I listened to the audio book of the month, and it's almost the end. And I said to my husband, I said, I think that the guy of the book, the author of the book,
Brian Tracy.
Brian Tracy. Yes, I said I think Brian Tracy was my dad, and because he says all this stuff, like he says in the book, he's like, don't complain about it, do something about it. Like, you know, you either fix it or not. And so my dad used to always say to me, like, either change it or quit complaining. Like, you know, that was my dad. So anytime I had a complaint or something went wrong or I had a challenge, he's like, Kristi, fix it or shut up. And so I just have always had that solution based mentality. If I see a challenge, I'm going to find a way to solve it. So, anyways, he's saying something about this. It was, I think, chapter 5 or 6. One of those two. He's like the same exact things. Like, if you have a problem, you know, don't complain about it. Find a way to fix it. I'm like, I'm telling you, this guy was my dad. My husband's like, he might have listened to the guy, but he's not your dad.
Like, they lived about the same time, so yeah.
Yes.
I think your husband's right on this one. Sorry.
I think my dad must have been into personal development. I mean, he worked for the government. He worked for the government for a long time, but once he retired, he was a real estate agent. So it kind of makes sense, you know, maybe he was into, you know, personal development.
And, you know, people didn't talk about that back then, okay? They didn't talk about anything that was out of the straight and narrow.
Norm.
Honestly, yeah.
Yep.
I remember as a child, we didn't talk about anything that wasn't like, don't tell anybody anything that, you know, we're doing type of thing. They kept everything to themselves. I have stories about things that happened to me and I, you know, and they were like, oh, we didn't tell you? Sorry.
Well, you know, this is probably extremely inappropriate, but I'll say it anyways because it popped into my head. As a young girl, I had certain bodily things that happened to me. Now, keep in mind, I had a sister that was 6 years older than me. I had a sister that was...
I told you.
I had a sister that was 12 years older than me. I lived with my mother and my grandmother. I shared a bedroom with my sister who's 6 years older than me. And when I had my girly friend, I had no idea. Nobody told me.
Me too, Kristi.
How does this happen?
I thought I was dying. Okay, help, I'm dying. And they were like, oh no, that's just, you know.
Yeah, I
that's
hid
what
it
women
for
go through.
I know. I hid it for so long because I thought there was something wrong with me. And I'm like, why? Why don't people talk? I changed that with my daughter. Let me tell you.
Yes,
my daughter wasn't going to go through what I went through.
Everything. Hey, we have to go.
We have to go.
The Grow Rich call starts at 8:00 and it is 8:00. And so we have to go. Kristi, I love you. I'll see you next week.
I love you.
No, I won't see you next week unless you're on the ship and you're going to, like, you know.
I'm going to.